Hello, my name is John Weston. I'm the chef at East by Northeast Restaurant in Montauk, New York. And today we're going to make an ice cream sandwich. It's going to be made from phyllo, butter, sugar, and then we're going to finish it with ice cream and fresh fruit and a little chocolate fudge. We're going to start with a cookie sheet, or what we call a half sheet tray, and a little food spray, just to allow some parchment paper not to stick to it. It sounds redundant, but we don't want anything sticking to something it shouldn't. We'll be working with phyllo today, and my best advice with phyllo is follow the package directions. It'll tell you how to keep it from drying out, how to defrost it, and how to work with it conveniently and easily. What I'm doing is I'm taking some butter with a little vanilla, and this is sweet butter, not salted, basting very gently the parchment paper. As you can see, the phyllo broke on me. It doesn't concern me. This is a recipe that's great to do with kids or anyone, because I think most of us at some time in our life have either worked with plaster of Paris or paper mache. And that is, you're painting something with some sort of a glue and then putting some sort of papery material or cloth and making layers. And that's what we're doing here. Sprinkling a little bit of just plain, everyday sugar right out of the box. A nice even coat, but not so much that you could write your name on here. So one sheet at a time, we'll layer. If you find that the sheet doesn't quite fit your cookie sheet, you take a knife, you trim it out and fry it off or do something else with that phyllo. If you find that the sheet is short, then you just layer it as you would with plaster of Paris or paper mache. So I'm going to make about 4 or 5 sheets. You notice that I trim all the way to the edge, tuck everything in nice and neat. If you find that the phyllo sheets are going double or triple on you, that's okay. Just go ahead and put a layer right on top. Now you can network back and forth if you like, but since this sheet is working fine, I'm just going to try and keep everything to the edge. And you'll notice that I'm pressing down and bearing some weight on here until you can see the moisture of the butter pushing up and the pebbles of the sugar pushing up through the next layer. What this does is it allows the sugar to grab the phyllo so it doesn't slide and shingle off. Okay, so I have 4 layers. I'm going to stop there because this particular brand of phyllo is a little thicker than some others. If you find that the phyllo is very, very fine, very thin, then you'll need to do 5 layers, sometimes 6. And depending on how it behaves. If you find the phyllo is completely misbehaving, then you may have to patchwork. I'm going to finish this with a layer of parchment. Roll this, get this out the way, and reserve. And then put as much weight on this as I can and smooth it out. This will seal all the edges and really seal the layers in between. If you're having a dinner party and you have to make for many, many people, you'll stack these up on cookie sheets into the cooler, let them set. But if you're hungry and anxious, right in the oven. Once you have it nice and flat, you can peel it off, and you can see you have a nice even coating. this is what you want. It's a nice looking sheet. We'll put this in the oven, come back in about 5 to 8 minutes, give it a turn, and then give it another turn and check it. One of the problems you'll find is if you have air bubbles in here, it will bubble up. And then when that happens, put a piece of parchment over the top, smooth it out gently, put it right back inside. Ready? So again, we have some bubbling up. I'm just gonna throw a sheet. I'm gonna take a bowl so I don't burn my hand, and just gently massage those bubbles right out. Alternatively, you can take a towel, get it nice and flat, just run it all the way around, get rid of those ridges, and then we'll pass her back in. We'll put this back in the oven for about another 3 or 4 minutes. So here we are, fresh from the oven, little nice caramely color. You know, we flattened out some of those bumps. We're going to allow this to cool for a few minutes till you can handle it. So it's going to take about 5 or 10 minutes on the sheet. You can put a rack down and let that cool. Our filo's been cooling for about 5 minutes and we can handle it. So we're just going to make some cuts, and you can cut this any way you want. I'm just going to dig right in. We normally portion it in such a way that we have service, but for the home or anybody else, you can cut triangles, whatever you like. Just gonna go right down here, draw a knife right through it. As you can see, it separates on its own. King size. What I'm putting on the plate is our house-made fudge, available on idealchef.com, the recipe. And the fudge is there for flavor and to keep the filo from sticking around. As you can see, you have nice edges. It's nice and crispy, very thin. It's one. I have an assortment here of fruit. Pineapple, kiwi, cantaloupe, strawberry. You can use any fruit you like. Just gonna dig right in, sprinkle some across. We also happen to make our own ice cream. This is vanilla. Any light flavored ice cream is good to work with. And you want to use something that's going to create a flat scoop, so just shave it off. You can do this ahead for parties. It's nice to take a hard spatula and make nice squares, and you can lay it in your freezer instead of doing this route. But we're very rustic here. As I like to say, Grandma didn't take the ends off of everything for you, so just dig right in. It's about 4 to 6 ounces of ice cream. Set your next layer. These are fairly durable, so you can just push them right down. And then another layer of fruit. Feel free to use frozen yogurt or sorbet. And finish a little fudge, if you so desire, a little confectionery sugar. This is John Weston at East by Northeast Restaurant. For idealchef.com, ice cream sandwich. Let's get cooking.